It's okay, friend. It's okay. That person forgives you. They really do. But do you forgive yourself? That's the part. That person completely forgives you. That person is just thankful. A lot of times, the things we go through in life, most of the time, if not all the time, we go through them because there's a purpose in them. I want to say all the time, but sometimes things happen and the purpose isn't revealed. We may be working to someone else's purpose, so I won't say all the time. But most of the time, there's a direct purpose related to our lives because of the experiences we have with one another. They can be painful, those experiences. They can be very frightening, chaotic, painful. They could be joyful, uplifting. They could be the whole gamut. And during the time that we go through them, whether painful or uplifting, we experience all the experiences necessary that come with that vibration, whether good or bad. We see one another as gifts, or we see one another as foes. And a lot of times it's not until the situation blows itself over and all the dust settles that we are able to come back to the disaster area by ourselves and see the remains. We're able to see what's left, salvage what is there that is left behind. We weep at these places. We come to terms with all of the reenactments of what transpired while at these places. And if we're wise, we will begin the process of healing from that experience. And sometimes, friends, healing takes a lifetime. It depends on the situation and the severity of it, how it has taken a toll on us psychologically and emotionally. Yet, in moving forward from it and experiencing life, because life is ongoing, life doesn't stop because chaos happened. Life doesn't stop because a storm hit us and we were taken up in the tornado and thrust around, and we lost important aspects of our walk in life, and we saw the destruction that came with the storm and experienced it. We can't stay in that. Life moves on from that, second by second. And when enough time has passed, as we move forward from it, we realize that we become more healed from those experiences as time passes. And we look back and we can honestly forgive. We can honestly get to the place where all of the experiences, those close successions of experiences, are sweetened with wisdom and understanding. That which was once bitter is now sweetened with wisdom and understanding. We can actually truly forgive. Yet, friends, I'm here to tell you that forgiving a lot of times is a double-edged sword. It's not just one-sided thing. And this is the part. Everybody has to forgive themselves. You can't just shine the light of forgiveness on one person, because I'm willing to bet that that one person has forgiven you. That one person probably wishes you the best is thankful for their experience with you, regardless to what demon or what angel brought it on. They are thankful because they've been able to move beyond it, iron it out, and have the sweetness of wisdom and understanding to soften it, to make it serve it. Yet, have you been able to do that? And are you so frightened by the possibility of those people not forgiving you? Because you probably, maybe, I don't know, maybe haven't really forgiven yourself. Have you even held yourself in the balance to say, I need to forgive myself? Do you see yourself needing to do such things? It's easy to look at another person and say, you. When God and the angels and everybody else, even you, the inner you, is waiting for you to do your part and to forgive you. A lot of times we can't forgive another that has forgiven us because we haven't done the inner work. We haven't forgiven ourselves. And maybe because we haven't forgiven ourselves, we don't understand how they could forgive us. See, the person on the other end that probably already has forgiven you and wishes you well, they never knew your real intention. If you're anything like me, I can only assume you to be something based on an aspect of who I am and how I see the world. I can only assume you to be something based on an aspect of who I am and how I see the world. So if I see you in your worst light, then that worst light has to be based upon an aspect of how I see me. So I'm basing my forgiveness of you from whatever scenario we were involved in. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt based upon how I see me. I'm basing your intentions with me on could be the worst case scenario of how I am or the best case scenario of how I am or whatever interval in between. But I'll never really know what your intention was in our interaction, that of which I've forgiven you for. And you'll really never know mine. We're both basing it off of how we see ourselves. You've got to forgive you. And I've got to forgive me. First, I've got to wash myself. I have had to, friends, in this life, wash my own self with the spirit of forgiveness. I've had to forgive my own self for even putting my own self in that type of situation. Because we're better than that. And then speak words of love over myself and say, but I love you still. I love you because of all the positives, even though that negative showed itself. These are the positives that I love. And build myself back up. And I'm lifted Forgive yourself first. And in doing so, it allows you to truly forgive another. Because I'm telling y'all, a lot of times we are out here expecting other people, or even wondering, we're out here putting too much on it as to, does this other person forgive me? Do they forgive me? I mean, you must really, in order for you to really be concerned about if someone else forgives you, maybe your intentions were very bad to that person. And that's why it's kind of bothering you so much. Because that other person's probably not even there any longer. It's just not that deep. It was, but it probably ain't no more. You've got to forgive yourself. Then the worry of if that person will forgive you is diminished. God will strengthen you in a way where it won't even matter. You'll be able to look at that person in strength and in courage and in honesty and say, I forgive you. Whether you forgive me or not. Because that other person has had to do it. Is the other person worried about you forgiving them as much as you are worried about if that other person forgives you? We've got to be able to hold ourselves accountable. Accountability is the central theme of life. You are responsible for you. You are responsible for how you show up. I just did the video on chocolate and the bitter chocolate versus the sweetened chocolate. Same chocolate, same level of experiences. Only difference is one is blessed with wisdom and understanding, and the other one just has close successions of experiences without wisdom and understanding. Forgive yourselves. Take the time to really forgive yourself. Look at yourself. Take the time to look at yourself. See you for who you really are. Your strengths and your weaknesses, because we all have them. There is no judgment here. I come forward with this video in love. My spirit wanted me to say this today. Look at yourself. You house the vessel of the living God within you. Look at that. Sit within that consciously. And forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. You're loved more than you'll ever know. This is my Tuesday word for y'all. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves and be good to each other. Peace and love.